Bulletin. We'll have we won't have a full bulletin for you. We're done, aren't we?
If you don't want to knock off?
No, it's okay. I think I'll be happy to end come 9 o'clock this morning. All right, we promised you that conversation with Aldrin.
Yes.
I think, Palesa, you're going to have a chat to him.
Yes, let's do that, Leon. Aldrin is now on the line and he's our reporter live from Parys in the Free State. Aldrin, good morning to you. Take us back as to what happened last night. We know that the conference was delayed with more than 10 hours.
Well, yes, the conference was delayed more than 10 hours. It was only around about 8, 9 o'clock that we saw the chairperson of the province, who is up for re-election, that's Ace Magashule, who was addressing or giving his political report. And that political report touching on various issues that this province has been facing, but more specifically the internal battles that the party is facing. I was even saying last night that even listening to Ace Magashule, you'd swear that he was speaking about an opposition party or members of opposition parties in the way he was addressing some of the people within the party. He was making this example of saying that there are those who in the party, after having lost their positions because of the elections, now want to switch the PR system. They don't want the PR system anymore. And it almost sounded as though that he was speaking about opposition parties, but instead he was speaking about members of the ANC. It just speaks to the divisions that the party is facing. However, though, he was quite steadfast in saying that he is quite clear that this contestation that's happening here in the party, was actually saying that there's no contest that's happening, that the leadership that has been nominated will be re-elected unopposed, and he's one of those people who will be standing up for re-election as chairperson of the party, 23 years and still counting. And it almost seemed as though that he knew that people making examples of him having stayed in power for so long, some people on Twitter even saying that he is like Robert Mugabe. He has been in the party for so long, chairperson of the party for more than 23 years. And he was saying that if you look at Aldrin Sampear, the SABC General Secretary, and was saying that Aldrin Sampear has been leading the party for 18 years, and he has been leading the party because he has been elected. And Ace Magashule himself saying that I have been elected. He also touched on the issue around the contestation happening between Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma as well as Cyril Ramaphosa, and saying that they should meet and find a common ground. And it almost sounds as though he's asking for an uncontested leadership heading into the national conference. We've heard this also coming from various provinces, including Gauteng, including Mpumalanga, but it seems that that is quite difficult at this point. However, though, it seems that they're not giving up on pushing for an uncontested leadership.
Well, Aldrin, do we know anything about his deputy, Thabo Manyoni, because he was supposed to challenge this position as well, but there were reports coming through that it looks like he's boycotting the conference. Ace Magashule, on the other hand, saying that Manyoni was part and parcel of the meetings prior to the conference.
Well, do you know what? The strange thing about it is when I spoke to Thabo Manyoni, and this was during the Metsimahulu elections, or on the day of the Metsimahulu elections, and it was immediately after that court ruling. Remember the court ruling that said that the 29 branches should rerun, the BGM should rerun, and he was in Metsimahulu, and we spoke about this issue, and he welcomed the court ruling. And I then asked him again whether he will be available to stand as chairperson of the party to contest Ace Magashule, and he said clearly at that point that he will make himself available. And Ace Magashule was saying yesterday that these people, calling him these people, have gone to court saying that the provincial conference should sit. The provincial conference was then convened, and yet again they went to court again to try and stop this provincial conference from going ahead. And one of those people who is absent, of course, is Thabo Manyoni. And Ace Magashule was pointing out, even at the opening address of this conference, was saying that some of them could probably still be on their way to this conference. And he did indicate that Thabo Manyoni was part of that PEC meeting on Monday that confirmed and agreed that this conference should be going ahead. And strangely, now he's not part of this conference, and seemingly he won't be available to accept nomination. That is, if he does get a nomination from the floor. And of course, then on the other hand, you have various other issues that the party is facing. And Ace Magashule saying yesterday that they've also brought in cameras. They their own cameras to record the entire proceedings, just in case there is another court challenge, so that they can prove and use this as evidence that they followed everything to the letter.
All right, and some backlashing there to journalists as well happened from the chairperson, Aldrin. But talk to us about the elections. What time is the election expected to start?
Well, it's probably going to be later today. The issues around credentials will be one of the first items on the agenda. Of course, the organizational report, as well as the Treasurer General's report, which will be coming from the Treasurer General of the party here in the province, Mosebenzi Zwane. So a bit later on. And you know, they would normally say that the issue around credentials is a very contentious issue. But if you look at the level of singing that was happening yesterday, the support around Ace Magashule, and also him himself saying that he believes that that the leadership that will be nominated today will be
such a contested issue.
Well, apologies on that one. We seem to have lost our line there to our reporter, Aldrin Sampear, but he has indeed covered all the aspects. Do stay tuned to Channel 404 for the latest in relation to that ANC Free State Provincial Conference, of course, with the new leadership expected to be elected later this morning. All right, it's 20.